Dillion Gabriel's been put on a lot of watch lists. I want to talk about all those watch lists that he's on for this season for awards at the end of the year, as well as his Heisman odds going into week 3. All that coming up here in about 10 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, talking OU football, college football, and sports in general. In this video, we're going to talk about Dillion Gabriel and the awards that he is on the watch for, as well as talk about the Heisman. I think I'm going to do this every week, kind of preview him going into the next week on what it looks like for him getting the Heisman. Let's get started, right? So here's some of the awards that Dillion Gabriel is up for this season. In the watch list, he's on the Maxwell Award watch list, the Davey O'Brien Award, Walter Camp, as well as the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Awards this year. And he started off the season in the top 10 for the Heisman. And now that we're past week 2, we've had a couple of games with him in there. Going into week 3, I'm using For the Wins odds from USA Today. What they have going for him in this article, he's sitting at number 7, which is technically tied with number 6, with Alabama's Will Anderson at plus 2,500 odds. What that means is if you bet $1, you'll get $25. So if you bet $100, you win $2,500 if you bet today on Dillion Gabriel to win the Heisman Trophy. Kind of think you should probably consider it, especially if we get to the point where they're really opening up this playbook to where Dillion Gabriel can put up some monster numbers. Now, we've seen this from him in his career. He put up 3,600 yards his freshman year with Jeff Lebby. In his second year without Lebby, put up 3,500 yards. Pretty efficient quarterback. His percentages have gone up every single year. And now that he has, honestly, some better weapons in comparison to years past, no shade to the old receivers at UCF, he's got some monsters with him. There's a chance for him to really jump that number. And so at those odds at 7, the people that are in front of him, we'll go from number 1 down. You're looking at CJ Stroud. You've got Caleb Williams is at number 2 right now, from USC. Bryce Young is 3rd. Stetson Bennett from Georgia is 4th. And Anthony Richardson is 5th, and his odds are plus 1,800. And then, like I said, Dillion Gabriel as well as Will Anderson are tied at 6 at 2,500 plus on the odds. And as long as Will Anderson isn't out here terrorizing players and getting a whole bunch of sacks, there's a good chance that Dillion Gabriel will pass him. But because of his stats this season, what he's looking at is he's got 529 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, and he has that rushing touchdown to go along with it, which is at a 10 attempts, 10 yards, and a touchdown. So he's not really scrambling much or doing a lot of running. So he's really definitely relying on his arm. But he is throwing at a 70% clip, which is an improvement from last year at UCF when he was at 68.6. And those 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, averaging a lot higher at 10 yards per average. What he's going to need to do is get out there, sling that thing, and get over 300 yards. He was close last week against Kent State, 293 yards. And I mentioned this on my recap video that if Braden Willis had caught that pass as a tight end across the middle, I think he would have gotten well over 300. But no shade to you, Braden. I keep mentioning my boy, but I like you. I love you a lot. You're probably my favorite tight end. So we'll get there. No worries when it comes to that. But you can tell that Dillion is getting it around to everybody on the team, which is something that you, of course, appreciate. But thing is he needs to have a stat stuffer game. And the perfect game to do that is on the national stage against Nebraska. So this game coming up week, I'll have my 5 things a little later this week. It'll launch on Friday like it usually does. And we'll talk through the things they need to do to prepare for this game. But one key thing for them, truth be told, is that they got to slang it. He's got to get over 300 yards this game. If he does that at a high efficiency clip like he's been doing, that number 7 spot is going to move him up probably into the top 5, which means that you probably need to take the opportunity to bet on him, make a phone call to your friend somewhere, figure out if you're sports betting in your state, take advantage of it. If he slings it the way I'm expecting, if he gets over 300, this will move him up in the Heisman ranks, because then it tells us that, now that we got other competition and the playbook is being opened up, Dillion Gabriel will get the numbers. The numbers are there. In this Lebby offense, the numbers are there. You just got to go grab them. And so I'm expecting that even if they're able to win this with page 1, I can see them going to page 2 and maybe half of page 3 just to see if they can test some things out. Hopefully it's not detrimental with turnovers, but I don't expect that. I expect them to be fluid going into this game. But we'll talk more details about that in the 5. So jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think Dillion Gabriel has a chance to win a Heisman? Do you think he has a chance to move up in the Heisman ranks? What do you think he needs to do to get there? While you're here, hit the like, subscribe button. We'd love to have you here at the show. I've got some videos coming down the line from a couple of guests, and we'll talk Nebraska and OU a little bit later. With that, we'll chop it up in a few days. Peace.